Hey, good morning. Today's another one of our first fives. We're out of Matthew chapter 18 today. And Matthew 18 is full of all kinds of stories that are really valuable for us who are followers of Jesus. But I really just want to point to two particular parts of this passage. So we're going to look at the first few verses through verse 5, and then we're going to jump to verse 10. But here's what we see. Verse 1 of chapter 18. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" He called a child whom he put among them and said, "Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever becomes humble like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me." See, here's one of the things I think is hard for us, is that most of our life, most of the world, we really find the older we get, the more we get. The older we become, the more influence we have. The older we get, the more we feel like people should serve us. In fact, one of the things that happens, especially when people retire, is they go to restaurants and other places and they expect to be served because they've worked their whole lives. And at one level, we've earned something in that. The other side of it, what might it look like in God's kingdom if we didn't get older and get more, but as we age, as we matured in faith, we recognize that the place that we want to take in God's kingdom is the lowly place, the place of humility. And the more we enter into that place, the more we enter into the place of humility, the more God uses us for greater ways than we ever saw coming. Because the more humble we are, the more we seek the lowly place, the more we become like children. Now, by the way, Jesus makes it pretty clear here. We better do everything we can for the sake of children. We better do everything we can to help children come to know Jesus. We better clear the way. We better have hearts like them. We better do everything we can to reach that person that no one seems to be able to reach, especially that child. And this leads us to the second part I want to look at today. Beginning with verse 10, it says this: "Take care that you do not despise one of these little ones." Still talking about those new to the faith or children even. "For I tell you, in heaven, their angels continually see the face of my Father in heaven. What do you think? If a shepherd has 100 sheep and one of them has gone astray, does he not leave the 99 on the mountain and go in search of the one that went astray? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he rejoices over it more than over the 99 that never went astray. So it is not the will of your Father in heaven that one of these little ones should be lost." Now this story, this parable that Jesus gives, really is incredible for all of us. It's not that Jesus doesn't love the 99 sheep as he's the shepherd in the story. It's not that God doesn't care about those 99. They're already in. They're good. They're loved. They know they're cared for. But it's this picture of a shepherd leaving even the 99 for the sake of the one. What might it look like if God's people lived in such a way that they recognize if they're one of the 99 that they're good? And they might live celebratory, not saying, "Look that I've already arrived," but man, what can we do for the sake of the one? What might happen if we lived in such a way that the sake of the one mattered? So today, here's my challenge. Recognize we're all sheep, because that's part of the story that's really important, all of us. Whether we're already in the sheep pen or with the 99, or whether we're the one, we're all sheep desperately in need of the guiding hand of Jesus. And maybe we can keep that in perspective. And with that perspective, that we all have been the one, and we may be in the 99, or we might even be the one today. And we can celebrate not only that Jesus loved the 99, but he loves the one. He celebrates even more, not because he loves this one more, but because this one wasn't home and now is. And so for us, may we become the kind of people who can celebrate when people are far from God and then they come near. May this day be filled with God's grace and his peace and his love. We look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. We'll see you soon.